Seasonal trading opportunities. All right, lesson 5. Welcome, traders. I'm excited about this section. Let's do this. First and foremost, let's get the disclosures out of that way. Um, you know, Seasonal trading, it's all about, just like anything else, it's all about preparation. In the way that we prepare is we use tools. Okay, we use some knowledge, some education, like we're doing here today in this boot camp. And then we utilize visualization tools to find opportunities. So, that's what this lesson is mostly focused on. So, part of the preparation, again, is your trading platform. Do you already have a broker in mind? Have we discussed if you haven't already had set up ahead of time? Have we recommended you somewhere if you needed it? Let me know if you need to. I'll let you know who I'm using or who we recommend at the time. Some brokers, again, it's budget specified. They have certain minimums. Some have great platforms. Some, everyone has a trade-off, but just want to make sure that you get with a broker that understands seasonal futures commodity spreads. There's not many of them out there. And some of them that are out there, they may be complicated to use. Some are easy, but then cost more in commissions. There's so many trade-offs. I've tried a few already. So, but it's important. It's very important because this is where you're putting your orders through. Okay, we're using other platforms and trade ideas and groups. It doesn't mean anything if you don't have a good relationship and established relationship with the brokerage already, because you need to be able to put in your orders once you have a trade idea. Okay, otherwise there's no profit making over there. What we're going to talk about in this section is the seasonal software. And then timing is another preparation deal. Once you get this all down, you're educated enough to, hop on the seasonal software and look for opportunities, or find it within a group, optimize them in a software, and put them into your brokerage platform. It's the timing. We're waiting. We're trying to be. We must be patient on these trades. Patience is one of the key things that I battle with till today with myself, not just within trading, but within myself, because timing is everything. It's a matter of making the mistake or winning by matter of seconds in sports, but in trading it could be a matter of a day or two, where it could just really cost you more money. We have to be patient. We have to set our timing correctly when we see opportunities. And we have to also know how to utilize time in respect to getting out of the way of getting into trouble, or getting out of the way when we're in a little bit of trouble, rather than making it a catastrophe. It's very important to understand those three characteristics, those traits and tools needed to be a successful seasonal spread trader. Let's summarize what we get out of seasonal trading platforms. One, we're going to get the ease of searching for potential winning trades, high winning probabilities with exchange data available up to 60 plus years back. I've seen some as far as 61 years. Okay, and it's doing all this testing for you real quick, just on the fly. These platforms are available to find seasonal trade applications as well as outright trading. You could do find outright opportunities on there, which are just basically single contract trades. Smart searching for trade opportunities by finding correlations of the current year's spread with historical patterns of 5, 10, 15, 20, and some all the way up to 30 plus years on the trade window optimization tools. Okay, the trades that we find are the most correlated are trades that have the highest statistical edge and winning potential. This is another key thing with using a seasonal platform. We can find these opportunities that we normally wouldn't think of. It kind of helps keep notes for us. It helps build us, almost not like a reminder, but just kind of like something in your face, like an assistant. Okay, it's like just a straight trading assistant for you. And within it, there's detailed backtests we are going to do. We can set alerts. We can do portfolio integrations, interactive charting, technical indicators. It has some in there. I don't use much of them in there. There's drawing tools. There's even a price move calculator that's pretty cool. Okay, that we get to use that, and helps, again, just really helps you have a quicker edge, making a good decision on finding high probability seasonal trades. Okay, so we're going to go through this here This is the Seasonalgo platform. If you guys have not already tried the get a demo from them, please do so now at this time. Again, the pricing for it at the time that I'm recording this, it's $33 a month, guys. It's an investment in your business. Okay, it's a write-off. It's gonna help make you money. Like my first trade, it paid off for the whole year, and it was like a 3-day long trade. It really took no effort, and it just paid for itself within the 3 days. So I was sold already right there. Then I started really getting into it. So definitely, part of a cost of doing business, I feel, in my opinion, it's very minimal in comparison to I've had other businesses, side note, and spent a lot of money and physical energy and stress out there in the field doing different businesses that it's just cost so much more to even have a turnaround. So definitely get this thing set up, guys. Now, different timing. If I have a deal set up with them by then, just please, by the time you're watching this, send me an email or contact us through the Facebook. If you haven't heard me promote it in any way, I probably don't have anything available from them. As of this time, I don't. Again, I've mentioned in the past, I'm just a straight out customer. I pay for it. I kind of stay out of their way. But we need this, so I utilize it. Okay, I utilize this tool big time because it's very important. All right, traders. So with that said, if you come here to their main site, their main homepage here on blog, you can get free trading strategies here. I try to post like one every month of my own on our site on fortetrader.com. If you go through them, they're okay. They have pretty good ideas. This one right here, for example, like there's things like you'll skip over. You can like this is like a euro and versus some kind of a Polish currency. I wouldn't look at every single thing per se. Here's like a natural gas idea that's pretty good. And also, guys, again, with softwares, I've learned, don't trust them all the way. Always verify some of the information. There's kinks in this stuff. And you're probably wondering then why am I promoting it and stuff. Nothing's perfect. And there's kinks in this stuff as far as the way the information is being delivered. Sometime what the techs have explained over there on the back end on their forum is that the information, the way that they're receiving it from their data providers, it's the way it's just coming out on their end. They are in a different country. It doesn't mean that they're not experienced completely in our commodities here. They're really good. It's just like this natural gas trade, for example, it's flipped over. Like M stands for June and N is July. But just you'll catch little things like that, and you'll start noticing them when you're placing your trades, that your broker will reject it or that the spread will not be recognized. You have to just flip it around. And as far as the directions, everything starts becoming very, very simple. In the beginning, it's tricky. It'll get to you. Don't let it. Send me question, send the group a question, and things like that. All right, so let's go ahead and just like take this future spread strategy here, for example. This was an idea in December. And when we click on it here, you'll see this little trading window here with like the dates of the spread, of when it was created. You'll see the months over here, the actual spread itself, NGN19 minus NGM19. As I said earlier, this sometimes requires a correction. And here you'll see the trading window that's recommended on this particular spread, as well as over here you'll see the black line like I mentioned before. That's our current year spread right here for the 2019, and followed by the different colors that I've mentioned in the past that are historical patterns. Red is the 5-year, green is the 10-year, and blue is 15-year in this case here. And it'll be by default in all cases, but these colors, those are those historical patterns. And so we're overlaying on this. This is the overlay spread chart. Okay, and then here on the bottom, just right underneath their free trade idea, their chart that they have like a summary of the trade idea. As you can see here, there's on this trade idea, it's 100% win for the last 15 years. So if you go down here to a summary of their backtest that they screenshotted, up to 15 years they've had this spread was a winner out of the last 15 years. So the 5, 10, and 15 was 100%. So out of 15 total trades, 0 were lost. And also, if you see here, they're saying in their summary, the seasonal patterns correlation, all patterns up to 20 years have similar movement and correlation more than 94% in the seasonal window, which is what they're talking about up here. So there was a 94% correlation in analyzing this trade before they discovered it's a good trade to enter and put on here as a trade idea. Let's see here. Okay, that's what they mean. So long seasonal window, a lot of time for seasonality to kick in. What they're saying here is from the entry date here to the exit for the projection of the trade idea that they have, it's a pretty long window. So you have a long time for your trade to work, even if like in case it's not working for us, it has a long time to work out and possibly take profits off early. If you're contracting, then you can take certain amount of profits off before and then let the other ones just run to the end. Just depends on your budget and your how you want to strategize your portfolio. What I can see and I can tell you here is that this is a very narrow leg spread. So what that means, remember in the last video when I mentioned the tighter we make the months, the less lower volatility we have to expect. And since this is trading between the June and the July contracts, we're very tight. We're more narrow. So the spread, will trade, with lower volatility. Okay. And then in this trade idea, it also mentions like notes like high RRR, which stands for risk to reward ratio. This particular trade here, if you look down at this table, it has a pretty high risk to reward ratio. It's definitely more than 1:1. It's more than 2:1. It's almost on average 5:1, almost 6:1 risk to reward ratio is what they're notating over here. Again, though, everything must be double checked by you, right, directly. And that's why I said us. I talk as a team. So we must always check, our trades, not trusting systems all the time. The system is just there, it's generating ideas. They have the algorithm on here from what I've understood, has a look back of about 60 days. It'll start generating ideas. So they might say something like entry at support is a good area. They could be saying that around here or something like that. Or, if it's a selling opportunity, selling at resistance. The point is that they're looking at this and they're giving the idea about 2 months before. So things can change and we must go into the platform and create the chart and look at it, dissect it, and then make a human decision. Okay. Also maybe look at fundamentals, what's going on, what's changed in that time, stuff like that. For example, if we go back here, free trading strategies, there was a cotton trade here that even I was in. I didn't know that they had this here until I was trying to make this video. And I noticed that in this cotton spread, I actually was in this trade and I had posted this idea on my site. By coincidence, they have it here too. And I was up here in this trade and I was actually in West Virginia visiting a friend and on another contract job, a trading friend. And I was up to here about $160 a contract. And it would look like a really good, highly correlated, possibility to make this thing to work out. It had pretty good years of success. And what failed here on me was the fundamentals. China at this current year spread, stopped buying cotton from us. We also had a lot of freezes going on up in the northern Texas in the cotton belt, which I personally witnessed myself driving back down that same month. I was driving back down through the cold states and I came down and checked out in the North Texas area. We had a lot of then you would expect, of course, supply price to go up because supply was getting damaged. But again, we had that fundamental news that China wasn't buying. They were a big cotton buyer from us. We just had bales and bales and miles of cotton sitting, and I saw it myself. And so, on a total fundamental note, we just went down. And now here in this level, our government shutdown has caused reports to not come out, so we have no COT reports. Obviously, for fundamental reasons, this trade didn't work out on a on a situation where normally, look at this, has great profit margins. I mean, the odds, right? Risk to reward ratio, you can check that out, what I mean by profits. But the percentage wins have been strong. Up to 15 years, we've been up 93% on this trade. So it just didn't happen for me this last time. I pulled out losing about $55 a contract, and it was a very small trade for me, and so I just moved on. I got out of it. But let's go back to that other deal we were at. Okay, where was that at? We were doing natural gas. Excuse me. Okay, now over here, continuing, we have a cumulative absolute return over the last 28 years. So it's just displaying how this spread cumulatively has been profiting over the last 28 years. Down over here in this green box, they're displaying a year by year performance history of the actual spread, showing all the information here relative to the entry dates, the entry prices, the exit dates, how many points and profits it was, the average days in the trade, which this was a 120 days on average. Okay, and best and worst profit and losses, and then drawdowns and such like that. Okay. All right. Now let's go and log in and show the main screen as if you were logged in. When you first log in, this is how it's going to look. It's going to be pretty blank. You're going to have your tab, your main tab is up here at the top, and then you're going to have these smaller tabs at the bottom. As you see, it's shaded. By default, it's on Analyze, and it's on Builder screen right here. So this is where you would start building manually. You can build your spread trades, or you could just pull up outrights or whatever here. But this is how it looks, okay? So the main tab, and it highlights down into the smaller gray tabs for each of the main tabs. So this is the Analyze tab. Okay, in the Portfolio tab, you can click over here and pretty much keep track of a watch list, your trade book, your actual trades that you're in. You can create archives from there, send it into archives, have a temporary spread that you put on, and calendar. And then also there's a statistics tab for all of your trades, okay? How your trades have gone over the course. So that's the portfolio section. And then on the strategies tab, now, and by the way, as I go through these, I'll tell you what I use and don't use. I don't use every single thing in here, like the contangos and the forward curves and stuff. Not at the time I'm recording this. I use what I use on simplicity. That makes me money. Okay, that's it. Because this stuff, as basic as it looks, it can get real advanced. So, so the portfolio tab, that's what that's for all your active trades. You can throw them in there and keep track of your trade book, watch list, etc. And on the strategies tab, you can create pretty much search for ideas, trade ideas. There's monthly recommendations in here, market overviews, favorites, and then a different kind of a little bit more in-depth scanner. Okay, so this is how you can start kind of like not deploying, but looking for strategies to deploy. Advanced Backtester, as of this date, I don't use it, but you can create spreads and also compare them against each other. Okay, you can do that. The alert section is pretty self-explanatory. You can create price alerts on certain spreads, and then it'll like email you when you have a certain price target hit, which is pretty good too. I've used it a couple of times, not much. I usually use price alerts on my charts for my TD Ameritrade for a certain price alert, and then I put in my trades on Daniel's Trading DT Pro, which we're going to go in the next lesson. I'm going to put on a trade. Okay, and information tab, you can get commodities information here. Me personally, guys, I like to validate this usually with the CME directly, or the exchange that's in charge of the commodity. But you can get real quick reference tick sizes here, tick prices. Again, guys, the platform itself here has skews in it, so just double check your information. Nothing's a perfect world. This thing perfectly helped you find awesome strategies, and it's going to really get you optimized and up to par on more experienced on spread trading, but always kind of double check your info. Sometimes there'll be added months here when it's not really active months traded on a particular commodity, or a tick size could be off by a decimal. Definitely when I keep things in my portfolio, I started noticing that, but they're little skews. It's not gonna cost you money per se. It's just gonna throw off your record keeping if you don't notice that little skew and fix it, like a decimal point or something. Just heads up on that. Okay, these guys, they're good at trying to fix everything. They have a pretty strong support system, and a lot of professional traders actually use this platform from around the world, so they're constantly reporting bugs to them. And then as far as I know and I see, they're really on top of fixing little bugs and stuff that they find. Okay, but pretty reliable overall. You can click on spreads too and get spread data and information, just like you can on the individual commodity. There will be popular exchange recognized spreads in here. They're different categories and what they are, inter or intermarket commodities and things like that. Pretty cool. You can break it down, I guess, and show all the different spreads through there. This little area is new. Okay. All right, moving on. All right, moving back to the Analyze tab and to the Builder. This is where you're going to start building your spreads. As an example here, to make this one a fast one, then we'll be doing this repetitively. Let's pick one of this cotton spread that we were talking about earlier off of their main page here on the trade idea. I'm going to put that in there and click enter. It's going to pop up the spread here. And let's go ahead and just use the date entries. This was November 8th was recommended to December 27th. And this was a buy, so we want to buy. And we're going to go back to the 2018 year, November. I'm sorry, I forgot. November 8th. Ooh. And we were going to exit December, what day was that? 27th. Okay, we're buying, so we make sure that that's highlighted there. We can leave these here like this for now, guys, and just hit this build button, okay? Hit that build button, and it's going to draw that just like it was on that screen. You see this? Okay. Same thing, right? We have replicated here. This is our entry that was recommended. I was actually physically in this one. Real money was up to here. Had no clue that it would do this on us, and then just stopped myself out here. I waited a little bit long. I kind of just gave up around here. It was just, along with most of the commodities, there's reasons why. Anyway, let me continue. And I didn't get out. Why? Because this is our expected move, so I didn't want to cheat myself. You want to take advantage of the highly correlated opportunities, and that's what this was, with the exception of the fundamental year this last year. Okay, so it's still sitting there doing what most of the market is doing right now too, because of government shutdowns and stuff. We can't get a lot of data out there. Back to the major point, build. You see the lines are built here. And now we can also add, if you click on these, by default, just the 5 and the 15 historical line appears, which is these red and blue, and the black one is our current year. And then you can just click on that and just hit build. And it'll add all the other historicals. So we were like really in a good opportunity here. It was very hard to say, other than fundamental reasons, on a historical statistical edge, it was definitely on our side to take that trade. However, with all that said, you're going to want to find your own trades. So the way that we're going to do that is click here on the Strategies tab. And you can start by going here to what it says recommend, which should really be saying recommended. But this is what they recommend. Okay. And right here, you'll see all the different names of the contracts that are recommended for the month of February of 2019. Just to make an example out of that, you can go back to January and look at all the different trade ideas that were in January. Okay. I use that as a strategy. Sometimes I'll come back in and look for stuff that I didn't mature yet at the time that I was utilizing funds in the beginning of the month, and I'll still find an optimized trade in there. So I'll keep that in there as a hint, as a advice. If I'm on limited funds and my portfolio is tied of the money, then I can come back in and find stuff in prior months. So be mindful of that. That works like that. In this case, if you guys look over here to the far right, move this over, there's 27 opportunities that's recommended by Seasonalgo for February 2019. Okay. If you also notice over here where it says number count of legs, it starts with ones, which are single contract opportunities that it sees. For those of you that like to even do options, hint, hint. And then here's your twos, okay, that have like their spreads, okay. And there's also even threes, like there's flies and crack spreads and things like that, and crush spreads that'll come in there. So what we want to do is, you see the filter bars up here? Just go ahead and since we're working on commodities and that's what this boot camp is, and we're starting with 2 legs, that's where we want to be. Basics, hit 2, and you just hit the enter button on your keyboard. And it's going to go ahead and it's going to filter just all the opportunities that are just 2 leg spreads, 2 contracts, okay? And you see here there's a total of 13 opportunities now. And sometime there'll be more multi-pages. You just have to keep your eye down here, okay? So, where's that? Did I show? Okay, I'm going to make sure that that was in the screen. So this is our results here. We have 13 opportunities for February 2019. And there's the entry dates here. So it looks like we could click enter and it'll filter them to bring them closer to our upfront dates. Okay, it is February the 3rd. And so there's a metal trade showing. It's a weekend though today. It's Saturday. So we'll start looking at these and start breaking them down. I see a live cattle trade here with a sell, in which I'm currently in, which is pretty good. It's a good indicator for me because I've been in it for a few weeks now, and it's still showing another opportunity. So we'll go into these. Remember, when you find these trades, you want to always just assume that, again, like I said, the system here, it finds these generated about 2 months before. Okay, so you always want to break these down, analyze them, research them, check them out technically on the chart, maybe do a couple little fundamental dissecting before you make any decisions on entering. So just assume that every single one of these are trades you don't want to take. Convince yourself. Find a way to convince yourself why to take the trade. Okay, now we may want to search for our own our own spreads and not go with the recommendation one. So you could just stick on this tab here, stay on strategies, go to search. Okay, now we can start by entering our recommended, our desired dates. For example, let's just put February 1st and through like the end of the month. And we'll just keep it here for now at 15 years. You can search different kind of markets. We'll keep it on all. We'll just go through this quickly here, guys. Different windows, and then you can group them by name and also filter them by different kind of little strategies that Seasonalgo has put in here, like statistics. I mean, like risk to reward ratio, max, profit loss averages, average profit per whatever, these things. I don't use them much, but you can just go ahead and keep that like that and hit search and make different opportunities pop up here. Okay, now again with the legs, you could filter them, hit 2. In addition to, once you come up with all your different requirements and filters and grouping here, then you can also maximize all these little search boxes. Like if you want a minimum risk to reward ratio of 2 to 1, you can put 2 minimum, and I mean it gives you 19. Look earlier, guys, when there was nothing there. Total records 4,070. Okay, so if you want, it's actually going to give you just 2 to 1. So if you can go plus, greater than, make sure you use these. Greater than 2, and then it'll give you 2,700 of them that are 2 and above risk to reward ratio. So make sure you use the greater than and less thans. Okay, the amount of days, you might want to be just less than less than 30 days. You want a less than 30-day trade window, things like that. And so you'll start getting your different opportunities here, like so. Okay, so now to me, guys, look, I'll be honest again. This software is designed to find, create, and deploy spread strategies. It doesn't mean that because they make a recommendation you should take it. I feel like it still is going to require your own personal experience, technical and fundamental skills. You're going to have to become your own honed trader and not rely solely on this. In addition, what I do want to mention is I'm not some kind of certified partner or someone that trains people for this stuff. Be honest with you, I don't use every feature. I use it, I'm profitable, and I'm happy with what I use. I don't feel bad that I cannot use a certain portion of this, or neither that I cannot explain or teach somebody about every single little feature in here. As we get other members that are more savvy on different kind of these current channels and RIDX and things like that, forward curve traders, will be more than happy for us to learn it all, but it's not going to be necessary in the beginning, especially to be making money. Simply, the more you know sometimes in these things, the more it can actually cost you money. There's a ton of different ways and angles and approaches to take with spread trades, and the system is overall designed for some pretty advanced things too. I don't recommend diving into everything. Keep things basic, keep things fun, and I almost could assure you, you will be a profitable, more successful, and a safer trader with this system. Okay, so let's say just looking here at this search results here, I keep everything the same for now, and I just want to go ahead and click on this and take a quick glance at this. It'll just give me a preview, and I can just get a preview look and go, okay, it looks, does it look pretty good at this window of opportunity? Does it look like we're getting to our desired entry area? It looks like this trade has already started working. But if I want to analyze it more, there's a few ways I can get there. I want to get to the analyze, okay? We can click here directly from this little preview tab and go to analyze. This little tab here, it'll just put it into a portfolio. Let's stick with analyzing. We can click on there. Or if you were just straight up over here and you were filtering this way, because this is your style, you like to look at different statistics this way. When you get to the end here, that same analyze tab is right there. So you can click there. Now, you can always manually grab this information, go to analyze, and then from the analyze tab, go to that builder tab as mentioned, and then put it in there. But the analyze shortcut's already here. So by doing that, and by clicking on analyze, it's going to go ahead and open up a new window. It's going to plug that in, assuming like if you did this on your own. See, the analyze tab and the builder. It's going to take you to builder. And by hitting analyze, it puts it on the builder tab, on that sub tab. And so now we have this open page here. Okay, now we can start analyzing this spread and breaking it down a little bit further. If we click here on the next sub tab, history, it's going to take us to a historical year after year. You see at the top here, all the years historically of that same spread. And it'll show us the windows, like the color, the windows, the green and the red on each year. And if you go here at the bottom, let's make sure this is, you can see that. You can go and look at all the different rows, all the different years. Let's click on 9 and go to the very last one. The very last one on this spread is as far back as 1967. And you can see where this one kind of traded, probably scratched or broke even. It traded sideways. There's some loser ones in here too. See, this one maybe made a little bit. This one took a slight loss. And the little black dotted line is our actual current date to that, relative to that spread. Okay, so that's the history. Let's go back here to the first one. This is where we are right now on this, but you see we're pretty low. This one was a winning trade. This is a winning trade. I'm kind of traded against us for a while, but almost closed. I want to say to a flat. You get the gist of things right there. Moving on into the next tab is the quotes. If you click here, you can shortcut instead of having to go through the exchange and get the information. You can see the highlighted contract months here is the actual spread. It's highlighting the spread legs right there. So the April and the June, and it'll show you the volume that's going on. The previous year and the current open interest right here, the volume, and then also the first notice dates are right here too. This is very important. And give you the first notice dates when you want to start pulling out, when major players are selling out of those contracts and they're rolling over to different contracts. Very important to know that. It'll also help if it's maybe too late or early to get in. Most of these trades we're getting in far earlier, and we're not pulling them too close to the spot months, but very good to know that. Another chart view you could click on and look at is this continuation, which will basically show the spread over all the years in more like a value areas. You can kind of see, and you can change it, by the way, the bar candles here to candlesticks. Most spread traders don't. Most are looking at bars or looking at lines, but here you can kind of get a visual on where your price is historically, if it's priced low or high. In this case, you see that this spread was recommending to sell, but look where we are. All right. So, is there room to really go lower, or are we buying already at lows? This would be something you'd put into your analysis and try to figure that out. The other thing you can do with the spread is click on the futures tab, and you can identify and just look at the individual straight up contracts on the spread. So here you have the lean hog J month and then the M. And I don't know if you can click on here and zoom this in. I've never done that. You can't. Well, you could just look at it that way. You can perhaps change that back up. I don't like that. Let's go back here. You can look at pretty much just the straight up outright, and you can change these to candlestick if you're a candlestick person, and also you can remove some of these indicators. There's COT reports of the COT indicators on here. If you don't like the disaggregator, you could just keep legacy, maybe get the volume off and just click on there, and then just have your candle charts, okay, with your COT legacy right there. Remember the commitment of traders, and now you have it as an indicator, and you can see where all the large traders are, all the small specs and the commercials, where their positions are visually on the chart. Pretty interesting stuff, right? You can do it that way. Another way to look at it, some people like to do, I personally don't, is your stacked view. So you can take a look at the current spread, which is highlighted in black, in comparison to the last, looks like, 20 years back here. Going backwards from 2019 to 99, and you can uncheck them. You can uncheck each one and can add and just play with that, okay? And you can see here visually that this spread this year is relatively low in comparison to all the other spread years historically, okay? As you see here, also all the different colors. And then you can uncheck these things and then redraw them, and you can do that. You can also use this combination one, which, to be honest with you, in comparison to the stacked, I just don't see the purpose in it. But don't take my word for it. Other people do. There's a definition to this. I just personally don't use it. I could look at maybe the stack to get an idea overall value, but this is some kind of another analyzing tool that'll help one gauge idea on where the current market is. I just personally myself, I do not use it. The next tab is the backtest, where you can get the cumulative absolute, like we shown on the earlier video. That's listed on the front of the Seasonalgo's blog on their free monthly ideas. They'll use that snapshot of that when they're showing even a free trade idea every month. Here you see the historical statistics, what numbers dating back from 5 all the way up to 52 years, their percentage of wins versus losses, and then the different statistics here on average profits, losses, drawdowns, and such over this whole historical period. And this down here, like we showed earlier on our back test, it's a year after year detailed results, all the entry dates, exit dates, what was the price is entry and exit prices, the profit, how many days on average this trade was held, and when was the best dates. It even has that, which is pretty interesting. Like the best price it set at was on which date during that trade. So it's a pretty really, really useful backtesting tool as far as information goes. It's providing you with all this data. I mean, just like at your fingertips, just within seconds of clicking on it, you have all this data. This right here is a seasonal tab. If you click on here, excuse me, it's going to give you a very important thing to look at, guys. If you use this for anything, this particular tab, definitely check this when you're analyzing a trade. And it gives you a pattern correlation percentage. As you see here, going back to up to 20 years, this one has a 53% chance as far back as 20 years, but the closer proximity historical years here, there's a closer to 79 to 80% chance, even up to 75% in the last 15 years of this trade window right here that has the arrows drawn working out in your favor. That's what that is right there. So we want to really consider this in our analyzing. All right, here on the next one, it's the Optimize tab. And in our analyzing with Optimize, I don't use this personally myself, guys, and I can't even explain to you how to really use it. What I think, if I have to explain it as good as possible, is you can take different dates and create different action plans and different entry and exit dates, and kind of try to optimize the trade to see if you'd like to tweak it out a bit or something, I guess. But I don't use it personally myself. I'm going to pass through this. The next few tabs, I'll be honest, I don't even use. And there's some reasons why I don't know how to use them all. Okay, I'm just being honest. I don't. This browser, I don't even know what it is. No one never explained it to me. I'll try to find out if I need to, guys. Forward curve, I'm not an expert at it. I don't trade it. I don't really look at it, which I think is important in the future. We look into this, but I don't use it as a means for my trading. It's available. They added this several years ago, so they have the forward curve, and this is recent, the contango. Again, features that I don't personally use, but know it that there are traders out there that love it. They'll use it to some degree for their trading and making decision in their analyzing. So I don't do it. As of this moment, when I'm recording this, I don't use any of these. I just wanted to mention that to you and just be upfront and honest. So from Optimize to contango, it's nothing I use personally as of today myself in any of my trading. Here in the portfolio tab, guys, real quick, when you go into the portfolio, there's a watch list you can build. Okay, if you click on watch list, you can get a summary of everything, and then your trade book. Just to add something into your trade book, it's you're basically, when you're on the chart, you can pick. Let's say we open up this chart. I don't know if this is expired yet because I had it in my watch list for a while. You can move the chart once you're in it in your builder. When you're from the builder page here, you can move it around from trade book to a watch list, or you can just archive it or put it in temporary. There's 4 different main options here. Okay, the temporary, trade book, archive, and watch list. Okay, the statistics, it's going to give you statistics on your actual, what's in your trade book. So I'm not going to click on this one yet. This is my real account. But in there, you can click on there and it'll show you your year after year performance by the quarter as well. It breaks down quarter 1 through 4. And it shows your all the trades you've put into your trade book. Try to keep your trade book fresh for all your real life trades. Don't put sims in there. If you need to, keep your sims on paper somewhere. And just keep this for your trade book, your actual trades, because it helps you have some nice statistics. Okay, even though your broker platforms can do it, this is just another way you can have your trades demonstrated or shown, displayed, without having to go through your broker platform. Okay. What was I going to say regarding this, guys, real quick here? Let me look into my notes. Also, guys, if you go here to the calendar, And if you are keeping track, I'm trying to get better at keeping even track of my own stuff in this trade book, by the way. But you can filter out all from your watch list, your trade book, and then your archive stuff. Once you have your trades done, you want to put them in your archives from anything. This way, the calendar will be updated, and it'll give you notice here, like when you have first notice dates. It's going to help you in case you forget on some of the contracts that you're in that you may be watching or you're trading, and give you like, hey, a heads up, like, hey, look, that February cattle's about to expire. The first notice date, at least it's on this date. This is a trade that I'm not in anymore. I'm out of that trade. But just a heads up there on that calendar. And the alerts tab here, let's go to the alerts. This will help you keep track of a few different kind of alerts, price alerts. Okay, you can set up and add different price alerts. Okay, you can do that from the actual charts that you're watching, and you can set a price alert off that chart. It'll save it over here to your price alerts, and then you can put your email and stuff in there. Obviously, you could edit and get rid of it from here. You put your email, and if that price ever gets to, and put a description, obviously, when that spread or that outright gets to a certain price, it'll go ahead and email you and let you know, and to give you a description of the action that you would want it to take. Open P&L alerts, you can go ahead and add alerts here for trades that you have open for a profit or loss alert. Maybe it'll give you heads up, so it'll trigger, and you can get in and out of your trade at a profit or a stop loss. And then you have date alerts here. Set up alerts for dates, like the first notice dates, entry and exit dates. If there's a seasonal trade you'd like to take, and you just don't write things down, or you're not someone that follows handwritten logbooks on your desk daily, then you can just go ahead and set up a digital alert here for yourself, and it'll go ahead and just email you. For example, do the description, your email. That's my personal Gmail there. And before date of entry, this and that, you go ahead and just type that all up and save that in there. Cancel. And you set that up from anything that's within your positions that you have stored in the watch list or trade book, okay? That's where the alerts will be applied for the positions that you have stored in there. And that's how that works. You can, in the settings here, obviously change your email and stuff like that, like I had saved in there. All right, guys. So this was the end of the lesson 5. And we emphasize mostly on, the Seasonalgo platform, which is a main key thing for us. And I know this next slide, it kind of looks a little bit dorky, but just want to talk to you about my calling and how I feel in my position in this world of trading and with Forte Trader. I really, really feel good when people feel good, when I see people happy, when I can help people. During my course in my career, I was not able to always help people. I was in sales when I was able to help people, accomplish an expensive purchase for whatever I was selling at the time. Don't want to get too much into it. Made me feel good, but there was always something kind of like incomplete. And trading to me is a personal joy. I love trading. So being able to trade and invite other people into the world of trading at an affordable cost, I feel like that part is my calling. Your success makes me feel good. So I hope that you are getting and you get a lot out of this course. I'm here to help you personally as long as I can. And if we grow and outgrow and I can't personally get to you, I'll make sure there's someone always on the team that gets to you. As we grow, I'd like to grow with the actual traders that join the same way that you're joined watching this video right now. That's who I'd like to grow with me, not bringing other people on from the outside. I'd like to bring everyone in from the inside and just grow as a community. That was my first point. I love to talk about this. I know this sounds nerdy. Probably some of you guys want to just move on and hear, more trade related stuff. It's just, I can't emphasize how much this means to me. Your success, the impact that it has on your results, it has an impact on me. Okay. So success for me is, you joining and putting on a successful trade, getting your money back for your education, feeling at least like broken even there, and then some. And some of you guys that are already currently trading, maybe you gain something out of this that's going to help you make more money. It's going to make me feel good. Your success makes me successful, and it makes me feel fulfilled in overall, not just financially, but in my mind, my body, my spirit, my body. My mind gets so much worked up and so motivated that it makes me go and work out more. And from working out more, my overall spirit and everything feels awesome. And it all has to do with trading and seeing successful traders come out of this. Like, it just makes me feel awesome, makes me feel good. I don't care you have a small account. I don't care you have a multi-million-dollar account. I obviously I care, but what I mean is I don't care what level of trading you're doing. It's just that you're doing something and you're part of the team and that you're being successful at it makes me feel like really, really good. So I'm on the next video. It may be a little bit shorter than this. I want to pull a couple of trades. I'm going to pull my demo open, and then we're going to go into there and we're going to start applying a couple of trades on, looking at the margins right before we go into them, what the span margin would be versus the regular outright margin, just so we remind ourselves. We'll look at the liquidity, and then we'll place a trade or two. I want to do it with the market being open, and I think we'll be able to get that done. So that's about it. I'll see you traders in the next lesson. Thank you very much.